Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon and the Blackest Heart. Today, actually, I'm going to be reading and reacting to all the negative reviews that I get on Audible.com, Amazon, Goodreads, every place that you can leave reviews. My friend compiled a bunch of reviews, and I'm going to read. Oh, shit. Oh, my gosh. Kitty. Well, pretty Miss Kitty. Don't know what happened there. I will edit that part out. I swear. Let me start over. So, where were we? The Forgetting Moon and the Blackest Heart. I'm going to be reading and reacting to all the one-star reviews that my friend found. Goodreads, Amazon, Audible.com, other review places. He printed them out. I haven't seen these yet. I'm going to read them and react to them in real time, and no names will be mentioned, although I can see the names of the reviewers are here. I will try not to mention them, so nobody need be embarrassed. And we'll just see. I hope my feelings do not get hurt. We shall see. Let's launch right into this. Now, this is volume 2. Now, I did another video about a year and a half ago where I did the same thing. I reacted to some of the negative reviews on my channel. If you want to watch that video, if you like this video, if you want to watch that one, just type in Brian Lee Durfee, author, reads his negative reviews, volume 1. This one will be volume 2. Pretty simple. I might leave a link somewhere in the description of that video. Maybe I won't, but you'll know how to find it. Anyway, let's get right to it. Okay. A one-star review. Now we're starting off in high fashion, folks. One-star review. Just awful. A chore to finish. Terrible plot. Awful world building. Pathetic characters. Trash tier fantasy. Skip. All right. Hey, trash tier fantasy. You've coined a new phrase there, Amazon reviewer. I mean, we've got epic fantasy, we've got high fantasy, we've got grim dark. Now we've got trash tier fantasy, and I am the king. All right. Another review, another one-star review. 30 hours for what? They must have been listening to the audible.com version because it's about 30 hours long. 30 hours for what? Most of the 800 pages is used to set up something, but by the end of the book, the reader is left with nothing fulfilled. The author has us asking 100 questions and never thinks to answer any of them. Like the show Lost, there is no payoff. Spoiler warning. No one survives a full-bodied sword swing to the neck. Well, that is a spoiler warning. In my book, they do survive a full-bodied sword swing to the neck. So maybe it's not a spoiler warning. 50-50, they maybe survive the full-bodied sword swing to the neck, maybe they don't. Another one-star review. Disappointing. It fell apart pretty quickly. I lost myself in the storyline that changed and forgot and let the reader know what happened. If anything, the author really frustrated me with the flow, never having ever read a book from the author, and I will... Okay, so this is a run-on sentence. This is like a paragraph, and it's all just one sentence. I don't know if I can follow it. It fell apart quickly. I lost myself in the storyline that changed and forgot to let the reader know what happened. If anything, the author really frustrated me with the flow. Never have I read a book from this author, and I will probably never will. The story at a whole have lackluster at best, but hopefully you might be able to understand it better than I. But it wasn't worth the money I paid for it, in my opinion. God bless. Well, I thank you for the God bless at the end. Oh, I'm exhausted just reading that one. Okay. Another one-star review. This book is very long or busy. Wait. This book is very long or busy. Okay, I have a question, which is it very long or busy? That's my question. This book is very long or busy, but the story is not so much moving forward. There are a lot of unnecessary details seeming to document every step of the way. The story is dry, the characters not so lovable. Another 1-star rating. Did not finish, won't try again, DNF! Exclamation point. Cool cover, awesome map, and I even think the setup of the world was good. Yes, it does have a cool cover. Richard Anderson does the covers of my books. They are super dope. So thank you, reviewer, for pointing that out. The maps are great. Yes, the map maker was awesome. We've got 2 pluses. Okay. Cool cover, awesome map, and I think even the setup of the world was good. Sadly, I didn't find the characters likable, and it was tiresome to expect something big to happen, only to be disappointed again and again and again and again. Maybe it happens at the later half of the book, but I decided the story dragged on too much. Oh, for the satisfying payoff I was expecting. I'm sorry that it was such a disappointment to you. Another 1-star review. This one is from Bernice. Oh, I did mention a name. Sorry, Bernice, I'm calling you out. The only part, you only left a 5-word review. This is a head scratcher. Your review is kind of a head scratcher. I don't even know what you like or dislike about it, but clearly you disliked it because it's 1 star. All right, a 2-star review. Beer Mug the dog saves this book from 1 star. Not one other character has a brain cell. I completely agree. That review is spot on. Beer Mug the dog is the smartest character in the story. It's irrefutable. Great, great review. Okay. Oh, geez. 1-star review. This book ended my love of reading. Some of these actually hurt. Some of these actually hurt. This book ended my love of reading. That's all that's there. Oh, another 2-star review. I love Brian Lee Durfee's YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I love Brian Lee Durfee's YouTube channel. He is friendly, funny, and seems very nice. His book, however, made me want to stick a fork in my eye and jump off the Golden State Bridge. Well, that escalated quickly. Don't. Oh, lordy. Okay. Oh, this is a 5-star review. Okay. I'm nervous, though. 5-star review, but my buddy picked it out. I'm a little nervous. Okay. 5 stars. Best read ever. Please do not read it. I knew it was going to... No kidding. I haven't the words to say how marvelous this book is. Complex plot. Protagonists turning into antagonists. Minor characters morphing into major players. And on we go. The 2 books Dundee wrote are outstanding. My name is not Dundee. It's Durfee, but I will forgive. The 2 books Dundee wrote are outstanding. The problem is, the books end abruptly with no mention I can find of any continuation of the series. Everything is just left ... There's no climax, no solutions. All questions more tangled and unanswered than ever. There ought to be a law against this sort of thing. Well, okay, I appreciate you reading the 2 books. I'm sorry that both books ended on climaxes and cliffhangers with very little plot points resolved. I can assure you there will be a book 3 coming out next year. Thanks for the review. 1 star. This is for book 2. Horrible, horrible, horrible. The storyline of the 2nd book is horrible. I think we got that. It is thin, there is no plot, and the carryover from the first book hardly exists. Too much time is taken up with adjectives describing situations where the writer doesn't have the story content to build a pond of digressions to go into extraneous descriptions and places rather than an enjoyable story content. I hope that made sense to you. There is no way to follow this book, and baby, that's the... Oh, I don't think... There's no way to follow this book, and baby, that's the intention. However, I think what the reviewer meant was, there's no way to follow this book, and maybe that's the intention. However, the way it's spelled out is, there's no way to follow this book, and baby, that's the intention. However, that type of book is not for me. I actually like the sentence better with the word baby rather than maybe. I mean, let's reread that because it's just dynamite. There's no way to follow this book, and baby, that's the intention. However, that type of book is not for me. All of the heroes you think are going to be heroes, but they guy with no exception. Okay, another misspelling. All of the heroes you think are going to be heroes, but they guy with no... I think you mean die. Yes, they do die. All the heroes die in my stories. Spoiler alert. Oh, geez, okay. I think we had a similar review in my previous video. 1 star. This story is shit. That's all it says. Man. This one is for book 2. Also, 1 star. Disappointing. The first book was pretty good. This one is horrible. It's not worth the time or the credit. Okay, you mentioned the credit. That must have been you got used a audible.com credit to on my book. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. 0 stars. Oh, wow. This one is 0. This isn't even 1. 0 stars. Hated it. At least I downloaded it for free off the internet. Oh, I didn't spend any of my own money. Okay. First of all, there's it's psychological here. People value what they pay for. When you just download stuff for free, or I think the word is pirate stuff off the internet, you're never going to value it. You don't. You just won't. Had you paid for the book, it would have been the best book that you had ever read, I promise you. But since you pirated it, you just got it for free, you don't appreciate it. I can't even blame you. This is just human nature. Now, let's talk about piracy. I'm not mad at you for pirating it. I just want you to never do it again, change your life, and do better. Isn't it always the people that just pirate stuff for free that are the biggest complainers? You know, I don't know what to say other than that. Let's move on. Disappointing 1 star. It fell apart pretty quickly. I lost myself in the storyline that changed and forgot to let the reader know what happened. If anything, the author really frustrated me with the flow. Never have I ever read a book from this author, and I will probably never will. The story at a whole was lackluster at best, but hopefully you might be able to understand it better. But I want worthy of the money. It wasn't worthy of my money. I paid for it, in my opinion. God bless. I think I read that one before. I think that's a repeat. I remember the God bless. Sorry, I think that was a repeat from another page. A run-on sentence. Again, I did it to myself. I'm out of breath. Desperately confusing effort. 1 star. This book is an effective hodgepodge of various standard grimdark tropes and themes. Characters are two-dimensional at best. The storyline is fragmented and poorly structured. Deeply disappointed in my purchase of this book. You know, I really do. I don't want people to feel like they've wasted their money. You know, the people that did spend money, I don't want you to feel like you wasted it. But thank you for spending the money. Unlike the other guy who pirated it. All right, way too descriptive. 1 star, way too descriptive. Descriptions in books are necessary, and if you possess the talent to do it, by laying down beautiful descriptions, then itself can be a work of art and beauty. But not in this case. That being said, there is such a thing as being too descriptive of books, and this book is a prime example of that. I got to chapter 5 and I just couldn't do it anymore. It is a shame because this book has so much potential. Because the author decided to drown his readers in being too overly detailed and descriptive, I just can't. The prologue was the best prologue I've ever read in my entire life. And that hooked me. The rest of it was just nonsense. Overly descriptive nonsense. Well, first of all, thank you for saying that the prologue was the best one you've ever read. I will take that. I will take that. If that's all I get from you, I will take it. And I do write descriptive books. I mean, it's just in my nature. That won't change. 1-star review. Reading this book to the end was pure torture. Not because the writing was bad, but because it could have been so much better. None of the characters were special in any way. No unique traits from the many, many, many protagonists. Or were they antagonists? The reviewer says. There was no one to root for or even despise. It was long, dreary, and I only finished it because of a faint hope I held that it would turn around for the better. But alas, as I reached the last few pages, I realized the writer had no clue how to pull together the many, many, many lazy and unfulfilling threads. I'm not reading any sequel. I never want to forget I've read this book, so I can avoid it and its author forevermore. I love the use of the word forevermore at the very end. I was actually kind of hurt by this review as I was reading it, but then you use the word, I will avoid this book and its author forevermore. That is priceless. Priceless word choice. 1 star, boring. Don't fall for it. The first chapter sounds interesting. The rest of the book is not. Terribly boring. Another 1-star review. Therapy for the author, trauma for the reader. I think that might have been in my volume number 1. I think I read this review in my first video. Okay. Therapy for the author, trauma for the reader. It seems like the author is trying to work through some issues. This person knows me. Okay. Therapy for the author, trauma for the reader. It seems like the author is trying to work through some issues. Descriptions of the world are shoehorned into the narrative with a hilarious lack of subtlety. I should note, I only made it a quarter of the way through before giving up. That review was all over the place. It seems like the author is trying to work through some issues. And you just leave the idea dangling in front of me. I want to know what issues. I want to know, but you don't mention it. Descriptions of the world are shoehorned into the narrative with a hilarious lack of subtlety. It's a second point completely unrelated to the first. I should note I only made it a quarter of the way through before giving up. I give up. 2 stars. I wish the author the best of luck. Oh, thank you. A solid meh. Unlikable main characters, weak world building, and a confusing religious tone. Oh, and the forced social justice warrior nature of all the female characters. Given that this is the author's debut, I will give him 2 stars, hoping the books improve, although I do not think I shall be purchasing them. But I do wish him the best of luck. The forced social justice warrior nature of the female characters. I think that's the exact opposite of a review somebody left where all of my female characters were just weak and poorly written. Anyway, you can't please anybody. You're either a social justice warrior for women's causes, or you're a misogynist for the patriarchy. With the same in book and characters. Make up your mind, people. Yeah, okay. Unrelenting violence. Where's the love? 1 star. That describes the book pretty good. Unrelenting violence. Where's the love? 1 star. This is grim, dark fantasy at its worst. I kept looking for some good people a reason to root for this very, very violent book. Alas, I couldn't find anything. Skip. Okay, this is a 1-star review from the United Kingdom. Shout out to the United Kingdom. Not my best read. I did not enjoy this book. I'm just saying it is as it is. Too much scheming, never seeming to arrive at a climax, plus so many other things about the book I just did not enjoy. Just not the best I've read in a while, not even close. I'm sorry. Long and dull, 1 star. I wanted to like this book. The world and mythology are interesting and show promise, but it's too much of a slog. Took a week to force myself to finish it. I'm glad you did it that quickly, actually. A week isn't bad. Most people take a little longer than a week to finish books that are 1,000 pages. So the fact that you did it in a week, I'm impressed. Sounds like I ruined your week, though. Endless butchering of towns, trekking through wildernesses and caves, circular political intrigue. There just doesn't feel like a point to any of it. Crystalwood's chapters were pretty good, though. Oh, yeah, Crystalwood is one of my favorite characters. Crystalwood is actually represented on the cover of book number 2. She's a badass assassin. At least you got something out of those chapters. Very last review, folks, and then we're ending this. Oh, and this is dynamite. This is the best one. 1 star, a 1-word review. Inane. That's it. Nothing else. Just inane. I think that describes the 2 books best. I mean, I can't argue with that. Inane. I-N-A-N-E. Inane. Oh, that was rough. Oh my gosh. Oh, what can you do? I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Blackest Heart and The Forgetting Moon, both books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. If you want to watch Volume 1 of the negative reviews I read a year and a half ago, just type in Brian Lee Durfee Reads Negative Reviews, Volume 1. It'll come up. I will try to leave a link. I can't promise. I usually forget to. Anyway, we'll see you later. Hope you enjoyed that.